Hello and welcome to another one of my car videos. Today we're going to talk about what happened to the Bullitt Mustang a year later. And as you know, back in around January 10th of 2020, I attended the auction for the Steve McQueen car and other really cool, valuable cars. The Steve McQueen car was a big hit for the auction. And this was out of Kissimmee, Florida. And as you can see here, there's around 7,000 people in the audience waiting to bid on the Bullitt, and of course people over the phone as well. But I had a really great time last year. This was towards the end of the auction. That's when they rolled out the Bullitt Mustang. And it was quite an experience. This was actually my first ever car auction show like this one that I've ever attended. So, and as you can see there, that's the gentleman who owned the car, talking on the microphone there. Actually, he's starting the bid at around $3,500, so everyone can get a chance to bid and just say that, hey, I bid it on the Steve McQueen Mustang. Yeah, it's kind of like a little souvenir. His name's Kernan, I believe. That's him right there on the Jumbotron. Okay, and here's the auction guy. He's gonna start the bid now at $3,500, and of course, you know, it's gonna go way up. But it was a great time, and as you know, it's a fastback Mustang from the 1968 with the 390 engine. The car was all original. They did do some modifications, of course, to the car. Such as they welded some like a frame underneath the Mustang so they could hold the cameras, like they could do side views of the camera. See, that was all underneath the car, and actually in front of the car too, so you definitely knew it was authentic. And it also had the Warner Brothers sticker on the lower corner of the windshield. And of course they had all the paperwork and everything to go with the car, so it's truly, truly original. I mean, you can't get any better than that as far as checking the car to see if it's original. But as you can see here, the car is kind of rolling through. You can barely see the car at first, you know, in the video here, because there was like a zillion people around the car. But of course they had, you know, the cameras mounted in the ceiling and everything to show the car, the view of the car. But it was just unbelievable. Again, I'm so happy that I was able to experience something like this last year. And there's the audience, and you know, everybody was standing up. You just really couldn't see anything. You could actually see a little bit of the side of the car there if you look closely. You can just see the right-hand side of the window there. And also what I'm going to talk about here too is, where the heck is the car? Okay. Well, the car, I did tons and tons of research. You know, every month I always check and see if somebody will just pop out of the woodwork and say, hey, I'm the person that bought the car. But you know, it's really difficult. I checked, and you just, again, nobody's coming out and saying, hey, I bought the car. And I have my suspicions on who bought the car, and I believe that, you know, it could have been of course, a high celebrity person who likes cars. You know, like Jay Leno or somebody. But from what I heard, the only person that knows who bought the car is the person who sold the car, which is the Kernan fellow, and B, the people who run the Mecum auctions. They're the only ones that would know who bought the car, but they're not telling. It's weird how they always keep it a secret. And you know, it's like really, I don't really, honestly, I mean, I do care a little bit, but at this point, you know, whoever bought the car, I mean, it's done, you know, it's finished, and, you know, that's it. It's, you know, from what I heard too is that they're going to keep the car original, because as you know, the car received a historical designation, and I believe it's number 21 or something like that, or 23, but it received a historical marker on the car itself. And I think there's only 20 or 40 cars or something like that in the entire world that receive like historical designations for the car. But yeah, it was again, it was they had a ton of cool cars there. As a matter of fact, they had Hulk Hogan there. He could have bought the car, but actually Hulk Hogan donated his Viper. He had like a red and yellow Viper. He donated it to like charity, so that was really nice of him. He was there, I think, the day before the Steve McQueen auction. So it was really packed. I mean, if you ever been to one of these things before, it's like I'm telling you, it's like a freaking carnival there. I mean, they just have all these different things going on, and they have a ton of auctions and everything for different things. Like they had road art, and what I mean by road art is like the neon signs and everything. I did a video on that too. And you know, they have like antique, you know, 1923 cars section, and they have like a swap meet there where they have a bunch of guys actually under a tent where they get together. And so again, I have my suspicions on who bought the car, and I gotta say there's quite a few, at least 3 I can name off the top of my head here. But as you can see, the car's going for $3 million, or they're trying to get $3,500,000 for the car, $3,500,000. And I believe it was Jay Leno or Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars. And sorry for the honking in the background there. And the reason I say Rick Harrison, because he owned a Steve McQueen car that was his own personal car, and he actually auctioned it off on a place like this one. I don't think it was Mecum Auctions he auctioned it off at. It was what's the other one? The one they have in Arizona. But anyways, it was on the episode where this kid buys a Roadrunner, and then the old man takes it away because the car's too much money or something. But yeah, so, and the other person I suspect that probably bought is maybe Cheryl Crow, because she did a video a while back, a music video on the Steve McQueen car, and she was driving a replica car. So those are the 3 people that I suspect that could have bought the car. Who knows? Maybe it was Elon Musk too. No, I don't think Elon Musk would have bought the Mustang, but those are the 3 people that I suspect who bought it. So, but here you go. It looks like the Mustang's sold, and now they're gonna get ready to walk the car out of the show there. So it was truly amazing. It sold for $3.475 million. Unreal. $3.4 million. And you'll see it just right here on the left, coming from the left to the right. You can start to actually see the car. And there's the camera tripod in front of the car rather. I'm really sorry about the honking there. I don't know what the heck they're doing. Maybe they're emulating the Steve McQueen horn on the car. But there's the car right there. And it was really cool to see the car in person. Actually, the very first time I saw the Steve McQueen car was in the Rosemont, Chicago. I couldn't believe it. I was actually at a huge autographed sports show next door, and I just had it was really weird. I had my suspicions. I'm like, you know, I heard, because I read that they did uncover the car and that they were going to sell it, and it was just really weird. And I always loved this car ever since I was a kid, and I just had my suspicions that it could be there. And sure enough, I asked just a guy coming out of the car show. It was actually a Mecum car show where they give like awards and stuff to like the best cars and everything. You just see the best cars in the world in there, man. It's just unbelievable. But I asked the guy, and he's like, yeah, the Steve McQueen car is in fact in there, and it's under like a glass thing. They put it under this big glass case thing. And man, let me tell you, it was just really cool to see that car. It was, I mean, this car was hiding for like, I don't know, 40, 50 years or something like that. And, you know, this was probably the famous car chase ever. The famous car chase of the Dodge Charger. But there it goes, they're walking it out. Yeah, that was quite something, man. And when they were taking the car out of the bubble, or the glass thing, the thing was kind of hard. You'd see like it was kind of hard for it to start and everything because it's so old. It probably just sits around a lot. But there it is in the glass case there. They actually put the car back in the glass case after they auctioned the car off and sold it. So there it is. It's like totally all original. I think the only thing they did to the car was replace the front bumper. That's what the guy told me, that who takes care of the car. Like, he works for Mecum and he, you know, prepares all the cars and everything. And there's Sean Kernan. He's taking questions, and I actually congratulated him. I shook his hand and everything. That was really cool to meet him. And I think I did throw a question at him, like, hey, who bought the car? I knew he wasn't going to tell me, but I just figured I'd do that, you know. Hey, who bought the car? So, and again, I think it was probably Jay Leno or Rick Harrison, or one of those car people. It has to definitely be a top, like, car person. Who knows? It could have been even the guy who bought the original Batmobile. Remember that guy? I think he was like a doctor or something. I mean, he wasn't anybody really famous, like, well-known, you know, like a Jay Leno, but it would almost make sense. So, again, yeah, it was a privilege to speak to Sean. Looks like he's actually relieved that he got rid of the car. He's shaking hands with everybody. He was really sweaty and everything. I mean, you know, being on that stage with all those people in front of him and everything, I'm sure he was a little nervous as well. So, again, let me know who you think might have bought the car, and please list it under the comments. And again, thank you so much for watching my video, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Take care, and I'll have more videos like